Alright, let's get back to our push to level 20 main story quests. I am currently sitting about level 17. As you can see, my actual level is 32 right now, so we are gaining XP a lot faster than we are getting through the main story. That's okay. There's no rush to get through the story. There's a lot of it out there, and it's a lot of fun. So let's pick up where we left off, though. This should be the Scions of the Seventh Dawn that we're about to pick up. Looks like it, so here we go. So, you want to know more then, do you? Well, ain't that a surprise? I swear if I painted certain death on one door and limitless wealth on the other, 9 out of 10 adventurers would go through the first, and the other bloke wouldn't be able to choose on account of being old on. Anyway, don't say I didn't warn you. First of all, if you're wondering whether you can trust the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, you can. They're good people who've made it their mission to solve some of Eorzea's most pressing problems. Of course, that ain't no small task, and so they're always looking for dependable individuals to join them. Individuals like you, Misty. Now, I've been given leave to tell you where to find the Scions, but you must promise to keep this information to yourself. As you can probably imagine, it's something Eorzea's enemies would very much like to know. The Scions are headquartered in Vesper Bay, out in western Thanalan. The place you're looking for is called the Roegadyn Sands. Give your name to whoever's at the entrance, and you'll be let in. You're a woman in demand, Misty, and the days ahead promise to be busy, but I hope you won't forget about them as helped you make you into the adventurer you are. Drop in and tell them how you're faring from time to time. You hear? Right. Well, I've said my piece. Off you go. All right. Vesper Bay. Okay. I want to go out the gate toward western Thanalan. So that would be the Gate of the Sultana. Apparently. Oh, let's get out Carbuncle. I always forget to do that when I've had the game off. It makes it really hard to go directly into a fight without him. Does look like he could use some help. Okay, I believe this place is called Horizon. We need to pick up this aetheryte, so we will. Cool. Actually, let's check the chocobo over here in case we need it later. I think it's over here. This one, maybe? Nope. Aha. Here we go. Actually, where can you take me to? Let's... Only back to Ul'dah. Okay. No problem. You know what I haven't done is check my gear recently. Let's just see. Hardly worth the effort, but we'll do it anyway. This is Vesper Bay. We are going to visit here a lot. And the game makers decided not to put an aetheryte out here. One of those silly moves, but they don't want to take it back now, so it is what it is. Hello there, little Lala. Deep in the desert of my heart, a lonely flower blooms, yearning for the heavens above to quench my thirst for you. Tro-lo-lo-lo-lo-lo-lo-lo-lo-lo-lo. Ah! I would thank you not to sneak up on me like that. Now please be advised that this is private property. Unless you have pertinent business here, I must ask you to... Here at the behest of Y'shtola. My sincerest apologies. May I please have your name? Misty Shores. Misty Shores. Ah! Here you are. Ahem. I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands, headquarters of the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. My name is Tataru, and I look forward to assisting you during your time with us. The antecedent is within the solar. I shall let her know to expect you. I take it you are Misty Shores. Tataru sent word that you had arrived. Lady Minfilia has eagerly awaited your coming. This way, if you please. It doesn't seem to actually be better than what I've already got, so we're going to take the money.
So you're the adventurer of whom I've heard so much. Well met, friend. My name is Minfilia, and I lead the Scions of the 7th Dawn. I have awaited your coming. Please, be at ease. You are among friends here. No doubt you are ripe to burst with questions. But have patience. All will be revealed in time. First, let me begin by telling you who we are and what we do. We are the Scions of the 7th Dawn, an order that transcends political boundaries. Our single objective is the preservation of the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as the Primals. Their existence is a bane upon Eorzea, nay, the world at large, and we have striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. Our order is home to a number of individuals who, like you, possess a rare and special talent. This talent takes various forms, but one holds particular interest for us. Tell me, have you ever experienced a sudden, inexplicable loss of consciousness? Have you ever had the sensation of being pulled away from reality? Felt as though you were hovering in space, a mind without a body? All these things are the manifestations of your talent. Yours is the power to transcend the boundaries of the soul, a power known as the Echo. The Echo allows you to pass through the walls of a man's soul and hear the resonations of his past. You will be there in his memories and see things as he saw them. You may even interact with that which you see, though you cannot change the outcome of events. For another blessing, the Echo will enable you to know a man's mind even if you cannot comprehend his words. In short, the Echo is a truly extraordinary power, and this power is strong within you. It is only a shame that we cannot use it whensoever we choose. That's right. I too possess the Echo. With that established, let us return to the subject of the Primals. So long as they exist, the realm cannot take so much as a single step towards true peace. Measures must be taken. Measures which transcend boundaries, be they of faction, race, language, or creed. And to do so, the Scions require the aid of those with our talent. Make no mistake, the Echo will be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. Without it, we cannot hope to save the realm. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea. But I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Why else would the gods entrust man with a gift so extraordinary, if not to have him use it? And so I implore you, lend us your power.
Naturally, Your aid will not go unrewarded. We are fortunate to have a number of influential allies, and at a word from me, they will gladly afford you certain privileges that might otherwise be denied you. The right to employ retainers, for example. Are you familiar with them? They are individuals who may be relied upon to manage your assets and belongings on your behalf. The papers you requested, my lady. Thank you, Tataru. The pleasure is mine, my lady. By way of a welcoming gift, I've taken the liberty of adding your name to a retainer's registry. As of now, you are entitled to employ the services of a retainer. You will need to consult a retainer vocate regarding the particulars of this arrangement, but believe me when I say that retainers will prove invaluable to you in your adventuring endeavors. Let this gesture serve as evidence of our commitment to do all in our power to facilitate your personal objectives. In return, we ask that you aid us to the fullest extent of your talents. A mutually beneficial relationship, I am sure you will agree, and one which serves the greater good besides. Well, that was a veritable lecture, was it not? Forgive me, but it is important that all concerned are aware of what is expected of them. Now, you know our purpose and what we can offer you. I invite you to consider joining us. When you have come to a decision, you may tell me without fear of censure. In good faith, I shall entrust you with our order's password, which our members use to reach one another when afield. It is Wild Rose. Pray keep it safe. I am going to do that, but I will do it outside of stream because, it takes a little while to do it. So... Alright, this should be a wild rose by any other name. So let's pick it up. We Scions have but one objective, to safeguard the future of Eorzea. Among our gravest concerns are the godlike beings known as primals. Long have we striven to find a lasting solution to the threat they pose. I know not what it is you desire for yourself, nor what it was that first brought you to Eorzea, but I firmly believe that the power we possess was given to us for a purpose. Pray consider this when you give me your answer, Misty.
I take it you will help us. Wonderful! I knew you wouldn't let us down. But come, I would introduce you to your friends in the Order. Tell me, does the name Sharlayan ring any bells? It used to be one of Eorzea's 6 city-states, and was situated in the northwest of Aldenard. The Sharlayans were the keepers of wisdom both old and new. Their mastery over magic and ether was unsurpassed, and even the Garleans knew to fear them. Among their number, there were a noble few who devoted their lives to safeguarding the future of Eorzea. When the realm began its descent into chaos, and their countrymen fled for the motherland, they alone chose to remain here. These noble men and women were called the Archons. Those same brave souls stand before you now. The masked woman is Ida, and beside her is Popalimo. The two are charged with surveying the Twelveswood.
Hello there.
Welcome.
Okay, my turn to introduce someone. That there is Thancred.
He is our man here in Ul'dah, Jewel of the Desert.
Welcome to the team. If I may, the lovely maiden beside me is named Y'shtola. Limsa Lominsa has the pleasure of being under her care.
Greetings. I have been expecting you. Last but not least is Urianger, who presides over all affairs within these halls. Pray seek him out whenever you have questions.
Dawn may banish even the darkest night. The words of a dear friend. I am glad of our meeting.
At the Battle of Carteneau, our leader was taken from us. But we did not stray from our purpose. We sought out Minfilia and others with her talent, and together established the Scions of the Seventh Dawn.
Along with the Archons, those blessed with the Echo play a pivotal role in our endeavor to forge a brighter tomorrow for the realm. Oh, I should also introduce you to Tataru, our clerk. She ensures that everything runs smoothly.
Pleased to make your acquaintance.
In time, I hope you will come to think of us as family. But without further ado, I would assign you your first task. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldesion?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have received a request for aid from the Immortal Flames. Thancred, would you do the honors?
It would be my pleasure. Some days ago, a crystal caravan registered to Amalj'aa and Sons mineral concern was waylaid and divested of its cargo. But there is more. Within a bell of the robbery, several people were reported missing from the shantytown outside the city.
At a glance, one would assume the involvement of bandits, kidnappers, and coincidence. Such crimes are hardly uncommon, and the Immortal Flames deal with their like almost every day. However, this time we have reason to believe that a primal is involved.
Aye, the evidence left behind implicates the Amalj'aa, who are known worshippers of Ifrit. If we then consider the objects that were taken, there is no room left for doubt. The crimes were committed in the name of a primal.
That you may better understand the nature of our struggle with the primals, I would have you play the leading role in this investigation. You have my thanks. If there is aught you wish to know, I recommend you speak with Thancred. He is well versed in the affairs of Ul'dah.
Ever at your service, fair lady.
Ready to begin, are we? That's the spirit. So then, your mission is to investigate a crystal robbery and a spate of abductions. Crimes which we believe to be connected. Assuming we are correct, it is like that any discoveries we make in relation to one will further our understanding of the other. Now, since the attack on their caravan, our friends at Amalj'aa and Sons Mineral Concern have doubled security over all their shipments. In light of this, it is my judgment that the abductions should be our priority. According to our preliminary findings, the majority of the missing were last seen in the vicinity of Camp Drybone, so that would seem a fine place to begin. A fellow by the name of Isambard serves as the camp's de facto leader. Pay him a visit and see that he gives us his full cooperation. Alright. I have not been to Camp Drybone yet, so let's see where we're going. Ryzen, Ul'dah. I think we better go. Nope. We better go to Ul'dah. Black brush. Oh, we could have done it from Horizon. Oh, that was a dumb move, but let's, Central Thanalan. Oh dear, I don't know which one's which. Oh, let's just pick one and see what happens, I guess. All right, that'll work. Okay, this is Blackbrush. Pick up this Aetheryte. And this Chocobo Keep. Cool, cool. No, I took the wrong turn. Okay, I don't want to be here right now. Let's try that again. Looks like maybe I've missed the road again. Let's see if maybe we can get a bit closer. Oh. Oh, almost back where I came from. Come on, I messed up bad then. This is not right either. Come on. Oh boy, did I get turned around there. Alright, let's see. Aetheryte. I believe we're going to come and go from here for a little bit, so we're going to make this one our home for now. Oh, where's the chocobo here? Okay, well, we'll have to do that in a bit. I'm Isambard, here to search for the missing folk, I take it. Minfilia sent word that an adventurer fitting your description would be along. She also warned us to be wary of the Amalj'aa. It seems we know who the culprits are at the very least. Now, I bear no official title at this camp, but the people here have come to look to me for leadership. You have my word that I'll do all I can to help see the victims safely returned. Alright, this should be Unsolved Mystery. Let us get right to it then. Minfilia names the Amalj'aa culprits in all this. You would do well to investigate them first. Much harm has been levied on these lands by the Amalj'aa hands. The flames burn where they might, but their light cannot stay the darkness in all places at all times. There have been brutal murders of callers at the church of Saint Adama, Lendama, innocents wishing no more than to pay their respects to the dead. The poor souls deserve a proper burial. I would see to the deed before mongrels catch their scent, but I know not if the Amalj'aa still linger. Would you secure their remains for me, friend? You would find them on the eastern road. 12 willing, you may even come to learn something of what the Amalj'aa seek in this area. Alright, let's see if we can find... Huh? Be up and over here. Yeah, there, this is the chocobo keep. Alright. Looks like we are going this way. It is good to see you returned. Were you able to secure the remains of our fallen? With the bodies given back proper to the earth, the souls will find their way across to the other side. You have done a noble deed this day. I thank you. Now then, what of the Amalj'aa? Did you see any? Surely such massive monstrosities as they cannot conceal their presence, much less take their quarry unawares. Ah, so there were Amalj'aa remaining, after all. I feared as much. Their part in the lowborn disappearing is all but confirmed. But I sense there is more to this than meets the eye. The occasional Amalj'aa raiding party would not account for people going missing in these kinds of numbers. The total is too great, and the questions too many. It would not surprise me in the least to learn of another hand in this. But whose? Countless travelers pass through Drybone every day, and even if it were one among them, how would we best discover who may be implicit in these vanishings? All right, this should be what poor people think. Let's say we turn an eye to the common folk themselves. It may be among them that we find the reasons for these vanishings. 12 forbid it be so. There is a merchant by the name of Unsolved who was born here in Drybone and grew up in the Golden Bazaar. A rough character, but he knows the people here better than anyone else. I'd wager he's at the inn, quaffing away the day's earnings. Here, I'll write a note for you to show him, else he's not like to speak to you. Well, gods be damned. You're that bloody adventurer who threatened me back in Ul'dah. What in the seven hells do you want with me now? Dear friend, missing people. Please help. Yours is Simbard. Folk around here are as wary as they come. They'll turn tail and run if you so much as pass wind nearby. Played them all for fools and coaxed some hard labor out of them, I did. If anything, they're even more timid than before, what with all the disappearances. You can go talk to them yourself if you don't believe me. But please, miss, just leave me be. I've nothing to say but this. They'll take who, or whatever's been feeding off us low folk. What do you want from me? I don't know anything, I swear. Please don't kill me. That's weird. I thought they only made noise when you had mail. At least making noise, so that's just weird. Just as I told you, wasn't it? A whole lot of them are terrified. There's been talk of folk getting abducted, but if you ask me, they simply up and moved on to a better place. This place isn't exactly Costa del Sol, if you know what I'm saying. Welcome back, Misty. Have you learned aught of import? I see. I suppose I should have expected as much from Ungst. Well, another thought occurred to me in your absence. The common folk are nothing if not fervent in their religious beliefs. Perhaps if they speak freely to their gods, then the clergy may know something of use. Not better, so we'll take the money. Alright, this should be a proper burial. If we would know what the common folk speak of to their gods, we've no better place to ask than at the church of Saint Adama Landama. It's a small and humble church found to the northwest of here. And so long as you are headed there, might I ask you to deliver this embalmed corpse? A morbid request, I grant you, but it must be borne to burial, and I trust none more than you to see it done. Seek out a man named Marquise. He tends the graves of the Lich Yard. He will tell you where the body is to be interred. I'm Marcus, yes. A body? Of course. There have been so many bodies of late. I apologize, miss. If you seek a place of burial, then there is an empty grave atop the ridge. Take the path and lay him to rest there. May they all walk in Thal's realm. What? Missing people? I'm afraid I cannot help you. But maybe Sister Aurson can. She has been kind to me. Everyone has been so kind. I don't know why, though. Pardon me. You will find Sister Aurson within the church walls. I hear you have done us the service of burying a fallen soul. Please accept our gratitude and extend it to Isambard when you next see him. You seek knowledge of missing drybone inhabitants? It is true I am closer to the people than any other of the order. I confide in them and they in me. When they wish to speak to their keeper, Thal, I am the medium through which they do. Should I learn of anything pertinent, I will be sure to share the information with you. I only wish Marcus would be more helpful in the matter. I pray he did nothing to offend. He saw terrible things during the calamity. His scars run deep. Indeed, he seems to now prefer the company of the dead over the living. While tragic, I fear such behavior ill befits the Church. I received word not long ago that one of our recent visitors, a man called Thancred, I believe, took offense at his conduct. I must have words with Marcus and soon. Thank you, Misty. A burial is no easy thing, even when the departed is a stranger. Were you able to learn aught of the missing common folk? You've been keeping yourself rather busy of late, haven't you, Misty? A pleasure, my dear Isambard. The name is Thancred, and I share a passion with you and our mutual friend here for learning what has become of these missing persons, and why. I, too, spoke with Angst more times than I care to count. There seems to be some truth to this notion of the common folk speaking their secrets only to those in service of the gods. Prostration, prayer, penance, abject deeds done behind closed doors, away from prying eyes. Who better to take the pious unawares than she who takes confession, the good sister Osern herself? Osern? She wouldn't. She couldn't. Even the most beautiful roses have thorns, my friend, and you would be wise to keep an eye on this rose. Still, the Lich Keeper Marcus, I'd swear to the 12 I've seen that face elsewhere before. Yeah, I think I'm not taking that one either. Alright, this one should be for the children. Sister Our certain, it cannot be. Though she is wont to travel to the Golden Bazaar on her own, and it is not uncommon to see her speaking to the children, but no, it could not be she, could it? I grow weary of these suspicions. I know there is one child in particular that she is fond of. Pray, seek out the boy, Misty, and see if you cannot glean something from him about our CERN's activities. Oh, maybe he isn't up here. Where is he then? Oh, over there? All right. Please help. Sister our CERN went out all on her own and hasn't come back. She always reads to me right here about Thal and the Order and the other side. I told her I lost my shiny thing and she went looking for it, but what if the monsters outside hurt her? Please, find her. You're the one from the church. Thank goodness you arrived when you did. It seems my gratitude is yours yet again. You spoke with the child. Yes, well, I was able to find his lost trinket. It is a ring given him by his mother before she passed. I will see it safely back to him. I think that's my minion making that kind of noise, so let's pick a different one that might be quieter. Oh, I don't know. Maybe we just don't need any right now. All right. Better. Oh, maybe it wasn't the minion anyway. Sister Auersern was attacked outside the Golden Bazaar. God's forefend. I will secure a room at the inn for her should she require any rest. Searching for the mementos of orphans, and risking her own well-being in the doing, no less. Certainly not the dastardly deeds Thancred would have us believe. I'm gonna leave those too. Alright, this should be Amalj'aa wrong places. I am well glad I reserved that inn room for Sister Auersern. It seems she received greater injuries from her attackers than she initially let on. Thankfully, she is expected to make a full recovery. But now, on to the matter at hand. Thancred came looking for you once more. He left word that he will be waiting at the Amalj'aa encampment to the southeast. I pray the two of you are able to uncover some evidence regarding these disappearances. No, I can't get out that way, so let's go this way. Ah, there you are, Misty. So good of you to come. Indeed, I've heard all about good Sister Auersern. Isambard said her wounds were serious. It would seem my suspicions about the poor Rose were misplaced. But false though they were, perhaps my suspicions were not entirely without merit. Whilst following Sister Auersern near the Golden Bazaar, a band of Amalj'aa caught my eye. I tracked them as far as this encampment, but, well, let us say that I would much prefer to keep my distance and remain here. This, of course, brings me to why I requested you, dear Misty. Would you be so kind as to take a look inside? Yeah, sure. I'm so far over level right now that these guys are largely going to ignore me. First time I ran through here, though, on my original character, I was just barely level enough to do this quest, and it was actually pretty hard to get through there. Well, did anything tickle your fancy? This leaflet. See the wealth of Nald to the hands of your children. It looks to be some sort of assembly to provide the poor with work. The lettering, though, atrocious, is it not? And these bits about Nald Thal seem somewhat less than studied. I find it hard to believe one among the order penned this. Pray, take this to the inn at Camp Drybone. Let us see what Sister Auersern makes of it. My savior comes again. To what do I owe the honor this day? What is this? Blasphemous! These are not our teachings at all. This was not made by any true brother or sister of the order. Of that I can assure you. Come to think of it, weeks ago the church was plagued by missing garments. Could someone be posing as a priest of the order to deceive the people? The plot thickens, Misty. Our culprit pretends to be a priest to lend credence to his deception. There is no doubt an irony in there somewhere. But I suspect we have a worthy adversary on our hands. I shall consider how to best handle this. For now, tell Isambard what we have learned here. Posing as a priest. To think. These troubling notions aside, it is gratifying to finally be able to move this investigation forward. Thank you once again, Misty. I shall keep my ears and eyes open, now more than ever. Alright, this should be dressed to deceive. I'm afraid I've not seen any unusual activity. Nor have any at this camp given me cause to doubt them. But unless we can identify the culprit, and soon more innocents will fall victim. Do not despair just yet, my friend. An idea occurs to me. Our suspect has been posing as a priest, using leaflets bearing false promises to lure the poor. Let Misty and me serve like by posing as impoverished souls in need of succor. Ah, I dare to hope that this will yield us the answers we seek. It will be a dangerous undertaking, but you two are more than capable of looking after yourselves. I'm next to useless in a battle, but I can supply the garments for the disguise. These old tunics and slops should serve your needs, so long as you don't mind the smell and the stains. These will serve very well. You have my thanks. Listen, Misty. So as to lay the foundation for our little ploy, we must make it widely known that more vagrants have arrived at camp and are desperate for coin. To this end, I want you to don the old garments Isambard has lent us and beg for work around the camp. Before long, the false priest should catch wind and approach us. Okay, I think this means I need to put on these other clothes. Alright. No, I don't want to save this. I preach the teachings of Azimia, the warden. Hast thou come to partake of the honey of her wisdom? Azima is keeper of the sun and goddess of inquiry. All is laid bare beneath the light of her divine countenance. Open thy heart to this light, needy child, and thou shalt want for naught till the end of days. And you are? Another refugee by the looks of you. The immortal flames have neither work nor coin for your likes. Begone, and see to it you don't make a nuisance of yourself. And I was about to get to the good part. Looking for work, you say? Sorry, but we don't have any openings. Now, get out of here so I can finish my story. What is it? Gods, not again. Look, being poor doesn't give you the right to pester whomsoever you like. Why don't you keep with your own kind, out by that muddy pond of yours at Drybone? Rude. Not up here. Probably in here then? Greetings, good madam. Is there aught I might assist you with? Oh, I don't believe there is. I'm afraid our wares are very expensive. Mayhap you should rejoin your fellows out at the pond north of Sandgate. You have quite a knack for being a nuisance, Misty. The camp is abuzz with talk of newly arrived vagrants. And though we were unable to attract our wayward transgressor, we were able to learn that the poor have a commune by the pond north of Sandgate, to the east of here. The eyes of the authorities do not reach that place, rather ideal for spiriting away hapless souls. Let us go there and wait for the kindly priest to come and offer us aid and comfort. Needless to say, you'll need to remain in disguise. A fine day for catching false priests, wouldn't you say? You look absolutely smashing, Misty. Positively dressed for deception. All that's left, then, is to wait for our quarry to appear. Oh, you poor, unfortunate souls. This is no way for men to live. No way at all. Who are you? What do you want? Be at ease, child, for I mean you no harm. I am a priest of the Order of Naldthal, and I come to offer you succor. This leaflet bears the teaching of Nald. Trust to them, and they will surely set you free from the shackles of penury. A tempting offer, but I'm afraid I must decline. On account of that atrocious performance, you would have made a god's awful mummer ungst. But what? How do you know? You bastards tricked me. Please don't hurt me. I was only doing it to protect my people. Is that so? Do continue. Very well. I'm a man of the Golden Bazaar, raised there if not born. Some moons ago, the Amalj'aa raids began. They would appear sudden as a sandstorm and plunder and pillage at will. Our defenders couldn't stand against them, few as they were. Everyone lived in fear. I wanted to save my people, but being a merchant was all I knew, and so I did the only thing a merchant could. I approached the Amalj'aa in hopes of brokering a deal. In return for sparing the Golden Bazaar, they made demands. Outrageous ones. Demands? Of what kind, pray tell? First of all, they wanted the schedule for crystal shipments from the Nanawa mines. For this, I bribed one of the workers to leak me the information. Next, they wanted me to bring them people. So I posed as a priest to lure in the vulnerable and give them over to the Amalj'aa. I didn't have a choice. Protecting one's home is a noble thing, but at the cost of innocence. You could have sought the aid of the immortal flames, yet you did not. I suspect you are not telling me the full story. What made you sell out your own people? Speak. The was good. What did you say? The coin was good, I said. I could sell mole meat for a score of lifetimes and not see even a fraction of what the Amalj'aa pay me. You sacrificed innocence so that you could line your own pockets. Words fail to express the contempt I feel for you. Spare me your contempt. If you want to blame someone for the mess the world is in, then blame yourselves or the gods. Not you again. Were you the one leaking the immortal flames patrol routes to the enemy as well? Spit it out. No, I know nothing about that. I swear it. At this stage, I'm rather disinclined to believe aught that leaves your mouth, but no matter. There'll be time enough to learn the truth. Misty, be a dear and take word of these developments to Minfilia, would you? I shall prize everything I can out of this filth. The abductees are still somewhere out there. Our foremost priority is to rescue them. Okay, I believe I can put on my good clothes again. And then I think I got some of these tickets to go directly to Vesper Bay, so that's a win, because we used to have to run from Horizon there every time we needed to make this trip. Welcome back, Misty. I am pleased that you and Thancred have been getting along. I see. You have done well to uncover the truth. My thanks for the report. As Thancred said, we must ascertain where the abducted were taken, and none but the Amalj'aa know the answer. Suffice it to say, they will not willingly part with this information. I fear blood will be spilled before all is said and done. All right, this should be life, materia, and everything. Minfilia would like you to meet a distinguished individual. Though we seek a peaceful solution to the primal problem, we must needs be ready to fight for our cause. That you might take to the field suitably prepared, I would have you meet with a goblin acquaintance of mine. His name is Mutamix Bubblypots, and he is a scholar of no small repute. Mutamix is renowned for having introduced a revolutionary method of enhancing equipment to Eorzea. The knowledge of this method was once a closely guarded secret, but thanks to Mutamix and his students, it has now been disseminated to the great benefit of all the realm. It would serve you well to acquire an understanding of the process. For this purpose, I shall lend you a blade. Take it to Mutamix and bid him use it to demonstrate his craft to you. Mutamix is ever to be found at his camp in central Thanalan, a place known as the Bonfire. Look for a pillar of smoke, and the way will become clear. Black brush. Not where we have? No. Alright, let's go to black brush. This is not the place. Okay, let's try again. Who is Uplander come to tent ring of Mutamix Bubblypots? Fighty Tool drinks in airy self. When full of airy self, Fighty Tool changes to Stony Shine, name of Materia. If Materia join with other Fighty Tool, then Big Eyes, Fighty Tool gains power of airy self. Pushkok. Mutamix is reckoning that Uplander is friend of Minfilia. Yes, tongue flaps reach ear of Mutamix with fastness. Minfilia wants Uplander to see power of Materia. Uplander bring Fighty Tool to Mutamix, yes? Gawk, Fighty Tool is unstrong as Eating Tool. Make good Teachy show of power of Materia. The Materia Master. Now eyes of Uplander point at Fighty Tool, yes? Push. Materia join with Fighty Tool. Fighty Tool gains power of Materia. Fighty Tool Reborn. Here, Uplander take Fighty Tool to Minfilia. Materia, strictly speaking, is a kind of crystal. It is created by drawing out the etheric constituents from a piece of equipment and then crystallizing them. Not just any old equipment will serve, mind you. It must have sufficient spirit bond, that being a measure of how fully an item has been imbued with its owner's spirit. When you attach a piece of materia to gear, you imbue the host item with its power. That is how Master Mudamix turned that dagger of yours from somewhat as would have struggled to cut steak into a weapon worth wielding. Pushkok. Uplander wishes to be joiner of materia. Then Uplander best fill brain case with knowings of crafty making. With knowings of crafty making, Uplander can become joiner of materia. If Uplander wants brain case to rattle with knowings of materia, Uplander best trade tongue flaps with learning ones of Mudamix. Alright, we are going back to Vesper Bay, so let's use one of these again. Oh, that was weird. Okay. Welcome back, Misty. I trust your visit to the bonfire proved fruitful. Ah, what a remarkable difference a single piece of materia can make. Granted, the skills needed to manipulate the substance are not easily acquired, but one need only look upon the results to realize such efforts are worthwhile. As I am sure you are aware, the quality of one's equipment can be the difference between victory and defeat. Materia may well give you the edge you need, Misty, so make it your ally. Now, it is time we discussed the matter of your next mission. Pray, speak with me when you are ready to begin. Okay, let's see what you gave us. Not something I can use? Well, that sucks. Rude. Alright, this should be Lord of the Inferno. Word has arrived from Thankwood concerning our ongoing investigation. It appears he was able to extract some information from our friend Ungst, the false priest. He revealed that he is due to meet with the Amalj'aa to discuss their dealings. The Immortal Flames believe that the meeting will present an ideal opportunity to ambush and capture the Amalj'aa responsible for the abductions, and so they mean to have Ungst attend as planned. As the Amalj'aa are anticipated to offer fierce resistance, the Immortal Flames have requested our support. I would have you provide it to them, Misty. Thankwood is presently attending to another matter, but will join you as soon as he is able. Until such time as he does, you will be the Scion's sole representative on the ground. Before he left, he bade me tell you to save some for him. Such is his confidence in you, a confidence I share. When you have made ready, pray take yourself to Camp Drybone and report to the Flame Sergeant leading the mission. May you walk in the light of the crystal. Going to Camp Drybone, and I think, yep, that's my home right now, so we're going to use return. Ah, you're Misty Shores of the Scions. My thanks for coming, friend. We're stronger for your assistance. Allow me to brief you on our mission. Our objective is to capture Amalj'aa and prize from them the whereabouts of the abductees. The lizard men aren't aware that their man Ungst has been exposed. When they come to the rendezvous point to meet the traitor, we'll spring the trap. Owing to the clandestine nature of the mission, we can deploy only a small contingent. Every member must count. And so we requested the aid of the Scions. The rendezvous will take place at the Invisible City. Please make your way there and lie in wait. We stand to learn much and more of the Amalj'aa plot if the mission succeeds, Misty. Let's make sure it does. Alright, the Invisible City. Hold up. It's more this way. I really can't believe that that was not better. Oh, I think I may have already had one. I see. Is the bait in place? Our man is in position, sir. Good. We make our move as soon as the Amalj'aa appear. Yes, sir. Oh! What is the meaning of this? Wait, something's amiss. I'm afraid your little ambush ends here. I eluded the immortal flame's clutches for moons before finally being caught. Did you not wonder how I managed it? It was almost as if someone was feeding him information from the inside. Your every movement was known to me ahead of time. Now, as much as I'd love to chat a while, I have appointments to keep. They're all yours. Put up your weapon, or your comrade's a dead man. Behind you! Bring her. The rest of you march. Traitorous scum. I fear the Amalj'aa mean to give us to their god as an offering. If I must die, then let me die a soldier's death, with steel in hand. Lord of the Inferno, hearken to our plea. Lord of the Inferno, deliver us from our misery. Almighty Ifrit, Lord of the Inferno, your humble servants beseech you. Grace us with your divine presence. Almighty Ifrit, we bring before you ignorant savages who know not your Godhead. If it please you, Lord, scorch their heathen souls with your cleansing flame and mark them as your own. Bloody hells. Bring those two as well. What's going on? This isn't what we agreed. None but servants of Lord Ifrit may behold the rite of summoning. The souls of unbelievers are forfeit. No, spare me, I beg you. Pitiful children of man, by my breath I claim you. Arise once more as my loyal minions. Feed my flames with your faith, and all who stand against us shall burn. Almighty Ifrit, my one true God, your words are my bread. Impossible. By what sorcery do you resist my master's will? Could it be? Your soul already belongs to another? Yes, that is the only explanation. Forsooth, thy frail mortal frame can serve as vessel to the blessing of but one. Yet I smell not the taint of another upon thee. The truth of thine allegiance waxeth clear. Thou art of the godless blessed's number. The paragons warned of thine abhorrent kind. Thine existence is not to be suffered. Woohoo! Pray forgive my lateness. I was delayed by a congregation of Amalj'aa zealots. I swear, each seemed more evangelical than the last. Persistent lot. Phew. I see the blood-sworn wasted no time extracting the captives, no less than I'd expect from the Flame General's hand-picked men. As for those two, it is fair to say their hardships have only just begun. They have much to answer for. I feel I owe you an apology, Misty. Had I known this mission would prove so dangerous, I would never have left you to face it alone. You have been given a veritable baptism of fire. But let us continue this conversation in more agreeable surroundings. Camp Drybone, shall we say? This way, sir. So that was the mighty Ifrit. And what a disappointment he was. The readings are nowhere near what I had anticipated, even taking Uldan interference into account. You should know better than to rely upon 5-year-old data left by the 7th Legion. Nor can we expect any form of support from the motherland, given the troubles at court. We have only ourselves to rely upon. Ever the pessimist, my dear Livia. Promise me you'll never change. We've wasted enough time here. That meter of yours is too old to give any readings worth a damn. Not that there was aught worth a damn for it to read, but I take your point. I suppose we must content ourselves with the knowledge that we've achieved our primary objective. Yet I find that I am troubled by that adventurer's unexpected show of strength. Could such a foe prove a hindrance to our plans? Perhaps, but that is a consideration for another time. You have been given a task. That is your priority. I suggest you treat it as such. Fail to do as my lord commands, and I will spare him the trouble of punishing you. With allies like that, beware a woman in love. I shall need to be on my best behavior. Ah, there you are, Misty. Come, rest a while. You will have no better opportunity. After witnessing their god's ignominious defeat, the Amalj'aa will be less inclined to risk our wrath, for a time at least. Now, where were we? Ah, yes, I was in the process of apologizing. I do hope you can forgive me. I arrived too late to be of any use, to you or the abductees. They may be whole of body, but the same cannot be said of their minds. For once a man is tempered. Ah, but it ill suits me to dwell on the negatives. Amidst our misfortunes, there is still reason to rejoice. Ifrit is slain, and by your hand, no less. That is the deed of no ordinary individual, Misty. Not that I ever thought you were ordinary. On the contrary, I have long suspected that you have the potential to shape the fate of this realm. What can I say? My fine eye for talent remains undimmed. Minfilia will be proud beyond all reckoning when she hears of your deeds. I trust you shan't object to my bearing the tidings to her. That way I can claim to have contributed something to this mission. You, meanwhile, have earned yourself a rest. Take some time to relax and return to the Waking Sands when you are good and ready. We can discuss matters in more detail then. Just don't take too long, will you? The realm's problems won't solve themselves. Cool. So back to the Waking Sands again. We'll use one of these. Ah, the triumphant hero returns. Thancred told us the news upon his arrival. He is presently in the Solar, giving a full report to Lady Minfilia. You should join him at once. Lady Minfilia is most eager to see you. My late arrival nearly cost Misty her life. I wasn't there when the Amalj'aa took her prisoner. And I wasn't there when they served her to Ifrit. Yes, by some miracle she survived, but that does not excuse the fact that she should never have had to face such dangers alone. I failed her utterly. Just as I'm failing you all. What's done is done, Thancred. You can ill blame yourself for every. Misty, it is so good to see you again. Impeccable timing, my friend. I had just finished regaling Minfilia with your heroic exploits. Thancred has told me everything. You have done well to return to us. The perils you faced were undeniably great, yet a part of me believes that I had no cause to fear, and now we can put paid to our long investigation. As we suspected, the Amalj'aa undertook both the robbery and the abductions with the aim of summoning their primal Ifrit. Nor is the tale limited to Ul'dah. Similar incidents have been rife in both Limsa and Gridania of late. I dare say you've been curious as to how these crimes are linked to the primals. Permit me to explain. Having manifested in the physical realm, primals must consume aether if they are to maintain their presence here. And the stronger they become, the more aether they require. Now, aether exists throughout creation. It flows through all life and permeates the very air that we breathe. Alas, this alone will not suffice to sustain the likes of Ifrit. Nay, he and his kind require a more concentrated source of aether, crystals. It is for this reason that incidents involving crystals can often be tracked back to a primal. Which leaves us with the why of the abductions. To understand this, you must first understand how primals are born. When all is well with the world, primals possess no physical form. Their essence is dispersed across the great river of aether. However, when the world is plunged into chaos, those who worship the primals cry out to their gods for deliverance from suffering. These cries serve as a beacon toward which a primal's essence is irresistibly drawn. It is this coming together, or etheric coalescence, which grants the being's physical form. Once born, a primal gains strength from its followers' worship. The more numerous and fervent they are, the more powerful their god becomes. But the primals are seldom satisfied with such reverence as their adherents freely give, and in order to gain more power, they do not scruple to create followers. They do this by tempering mortals, a process to which you yourself were subjected. Yet even as Ifrit took your comrades in his thrall, you alone remained unaffected. This is thanks to the power you possess, the Echo. We know not the why of it, but those blessed with the Echo are immune to primal influence. It is as though a greater power protects us. When first you came to us, I told you that the Echo would be instrumental in dealing with the primal threat. I trust you now begin to see why. Recent incidents all share a common trait: meticulous planning. Such elaborate designs are a new development, and one which fills me with an unshakable sense of foreboding. While I share your concern, my presiding feeling is one of relief at your safe return. Ah, the immortal flames assured me that they will deal with the aftermath, so you need not concern yourself with that. We may rest easy for a time. I suggest you take full advantage of the respite, Misty. You may be sure it won't last long. Once the people learn the identity of the hero who felled Ifrit, I fear you will have nary a moment to yourself. Whether she intended to or no, Minfilia neglected to tell you something. Something I think it would be best you heard from one of us. It concerns the tempered abductees that were rescued. I am sorry to report that all are to be put to death, the flames with whom you were imprisoned included. Needless to say, this information must not be made known to the public. I swear to you that we would not do this if there were any other recourse. But once a man is tempered, he is tempered for life. His very existence lends strength to the primal, whom he cannot choose but worship. And so, we Scions continue our fight, that no more innocents need be sacrificed. I hope that you will continue to stand with us, Misty. But I should be going. I must offer my apologies to the Flame General for the losses his people suffered. Till next time. Gods forgive me, how many more lives? Louis Sois would never have allowed this to happen. I have to do better. I have to be stronger. What is that? Level 34, and I'm doing level 20 quests. Yep. Perfect. Okay. Next, we should have a hero in the making. Until not so very long ago, you were but one of many adventurers seeking to make their way in Eorzea. But for your character and courage, you were raised to the esteemed post of envoy. Thereafter, you traveled the realm, aiding those in need without thought of reward, confirming to Y'shtola that the Scions would benefit from your aid. And no sooner had you joined us than you personally bested the primal Ifrit. You have achieved a great deal in a short time and won fame in so doing. Alas, fame does not come without a price, as you will soon discover. We have guests, Misty, or rather, you have guests. Beg pardons. Ah, Lady Minfilia, radiant as always. I am given to understand that the Scions of the 7th Dawn have but recently welcomed a new hero into their midst. I am here on behalf of the Maelstrom, Grand Company of Limsa Lominsa, to offer said hero a place of honor within our ranks. As you can see, Misty, your recent exploits have garnered you the attentions of the Grand Companies of Eorzea. Each organization would have Ifrit's Bane for its own. To this end, all 3 have sent officers to court you. They would not ordinarily go to such lengths to enlist a new recruit. That they have is evidence of their high regard for you. I find myself wondering how word of Misty's deeds spread so quickly that the immortal flames should know of her triumph is to be expected. But what of the other Grand Companies? Eep. Your reputation precedes you, Mistress Shores. 'Tis no ordinary woman who can face a primal and emerge the victor. The Order of the Twin Adder has need of valiant women such as you. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us ensure that peace ever reigns over the 12 Wood. What a pleasure it is to finally meet you, Mistress Shores. My comrades speak of you in the most glowing terms. A woman of your talent belongs with the immortal flames. Join your strength to ours, friend, and together let us secure a prosperous future for Ul'dah. The Admiral was not exaggerating when she said you have the look of a hero. Full often does she speak of you. friend, as do many others in Limsa. Long before the rest of Eorzea took note, your name was well known to us, owing to your valorous deeds on behalf of our citizens. It is only natural that we should want you for the Maelstrom. Join your strength to ours, and together let us see the grand vessel of Limsa to the shores of glory. Lady Minfilia. Very well. Though I am quite sure you need no reminding. Mayhap a brief summary of the situation would help to clarify your thoughts on this matter. As you know, the Grand Companies are all-encompassing organizations empowered to call upon the martial, economic, and technological resources of their respective city-states in times of strife. There are presently 3 such organizations in Eorzea: the Maelstrom of Limsa, the Order of the Twin Adder of Gridania, and the Immortal Flames of Ul'dah. Serving a Grand Company means serving the nation to which it belongs. You will be charged with its defense and tasked with advancing its cause. In return for your faithful service, you will be furnished with various rewards, some of which may well prove useful to you in your other endeavors. If you are agonizing over which of the Grand Companies best deserves your loyalty, be at ease. The commitment you make this day need not be permanent. Should you wish to shift your allegiance at a later date, you are entitled to do so, and yet I concede that it is no small choice you face. A thought occurs to me. You will, of course, recall that the 3 city-states are planning to hold remembrance services. Well, as part of the proceedings, I'm given to understand that the leader of each Grand Company will deliver an address. Hearing these addresses ought to help you make an informed decision. What say you, my dear officers? A fine suggestion. You are as wise as you are beautiful, my lady. Very well. Let Misty hear our leader speak, then return here with her decision. We eagerly await your answer. I know full well that adventurers are by their nature a liberty-loving breed and not best suited to the discipline of military service, but I strongly urge you to join a Grand Company nonetheless. While the promise of reward is enticing in itself, it is not the only benefit. You are possessed of great power, Misty, and with it you are capable of doing untold good. Yet knowing that great power is wont to attract attention, not all of it friendly. There will be those who wish you ill, and you must needs be on the lookout for them. Yet, however vigilant you are but one woman. In the midst of a Grand Company, however, you will be one woman amongst many, a friend amongst friends. Your achievements will be shared, and so will danger. I can think of no better arrangement. Of course, joining one organization need not mean leaving another. I hope that we can continue to rely upon your aid. The 12 know that we will have need of it in the days ahead. The Grand Companies seek to protect their own nations. We Scions, on the other hand, seek to preserve the future of Eorzea as a whole. Similar, yet not quite the same. Now then, I expect that you will be afield more often in the future. As such, I would have you carry this link pearl with you at all times. It will allow us to stay in touch regardless of location. Eorzea is changing, Misty, and you have the power to help shape it anew. None can say what the morrow will bring, but so long as we believe in ourselves, there is naught we cannot achieve. Now, it is time you made ready for your journey. Before you depart, be sure to speak to Tataru. She will apprise you as to where and when the remembrance services are due to take place. Well, alrighty then. I'm sorry about all the attention you're getting, Misty. I might have sung your praises a little too loudly and often, to a few too many people. Ahem. Next time I'll be sure to hold my tongue. Literally, if necessary. Anyway, I expect you want to know where and when the remembrance services are taking place. If all goes to plan, Gridania's Grand Company, the Order of the Twin Adder, will hold the first of the 3 services, and Elder Seedseer Connie Senna will deliver her address at Maketo's Amphitheater. I should probably mention at this point that due to the organizational challenges involved in assembling all of the involved parties, it's possible that the order of the services might change. Still, there's not much we can do about that, so make Gridania your first port of call. Next, you'll need to go to Ul'dah, where Flame General Rauban al-Din will be addressing the masses at the Royal Promenade. Oh, and it's rumored there's to be a special guest. How exciting! Last but not least, you must make your way to the stateroom in Limsa Lominsa, where Maelstrom Chief Admiral Merlweb Blofiswin will be giving her address. The room is accessible via the Admiral's lift. Identify yourself to the sentry, Xanthiel, and he will admit you. Got all that? Well, off you go then. I hope you find the remembrance services suitably educational. I suggest visiting the city-states in my prescribed order, though with your record of impeccable timing and luck, the schedule may well change in favor of your preferred travel plans. Farewell. Well, alrighty then. Gridania. Wow, there's quite a few people here now. You know, I actually don't know where the Grand Company is here. Over in Old Gridania, okay. Oh, that's right, Maketo's Amphitheater. I'm not going to the Grand Company right now at all.
I lost my son to the calamity.
The 3 Seed Seers are all together.
Some say you couldn't take a step without stumbling over a body. Our forebears were once strangers in the Twelveswood. Fearful of the Green Wrath, they hid themselves in the dark recesses of the earth. Yet they dreamed of basking in the dappled sunlight of the forest. Through great effort, they proved their worth to the elementals, and were granted a place beneath the boughs. So it was that Gridania was born, some 5 centuries ago. Working hand in hand, the Hyur and the Elysian settlers sowed the seeds of our civilization, and soon they were joined by folk of all races. So nourished by the waters of unity, and blessed by the light of the matron, Gridania flourished into the great nation it is today.
Do you see the Gridanian standard? There, hanging behind the Elder Seedseer. The entwined serpents represent the unity between Hyur and Elysian. An elegant symbol, do you not agree?
In accordance with the will of the elementals, we have embraced a life of peace. Alas, our neighbors have not always sought the same for themselves, nor for us. Though we Gridanians have no love for war, we have still less for those who would threaten our way of life. Ever have we fought to protect the sanctity of the Twelveswood. When the Garlean Empire brought its war of conquest to Eorzea, we rallied under the noble standard of the Twin Adder that we might push back the encroaching darkness. And it was we who prepared the ground for the reformation of the Eorzean Alliance, that all the peoples of this realm might stand united against the common threat. "5 years ago, the Alliance met the armies of the Empire upon the fields of Cartano. It would prove the bloodiest battle in recent memory. Countless Gridanian lives were lost. As Supreme Commander of the Order of the Twin Adder, ever shall I bear the weight of our people's sacrifice. Alas, their loss was not the only tragedy to befall us that day, for soon came the calamity. The scars borne by our forest are a constant reminder of its violence. Our lives have been irrevocably changed, each waking hour a struggle to survive. Driven to desperation, some among us have strayed from the path of righteousness, resorting to banditry, poaching, and other unconscionable deeds. To compound our woes, the Ixal have returned in force, emboldened by our suffering. They test our defenses nigh without cease, and prey upon the vulnerable. So beleaguered from within and without, it is of little wonder that our unity now falters. Dark times are upon us.
Time was a man could walk the high roads without fear.
On this day, 5 years ago, countless Eorzeans laid down their lives that we might behold another dawn. Please join with me in honoring their memory.
And how do you propose to honor the memory of those you cannot remember, pray tell?
The destruction wrought by the calamity was indiscriminate. It dealt death to Eorzean and Garlean alike. Yet while we have labored to rebuild our homes, to rebuild our lives, the Empire has set about raising steel fortresses here in the Twelveswood. Let none be mistaken. The Garleans remain the greatest threat to our survival. If we are to stand against them, we must remember what it is to be united. Our many troubles blind us to the woes of our fellow man. Thence is harmony lost. Yet harmony is the founding principle of Gridania. We are gathered here to honor the fallen. Let them be honored not only in word and thought, but through concerted action. I bid you join hands with me once more beneath the Twin Adder standard. And together, let us heal the forest's wounds, that our progeny might live in harmony beneath these ancient... We must think of the children!
Woods will be done.
It's up to us to protect the forest.
For the elementals! If you'll permit me, Alfie no. And my sister, Alize, at your service. I saw at a glance that you were a fellow traveler. You might call us students of history, sampling the realm's remembrances in pursuit of enlightenment.
The Gridanians are unfortunate enough to have to contend with two beast tribes. The Ixal are unquestionably the more troublesome, being of a naturally warlike disposition and want to summon their bloodthirsty primal Garuda. The Sylphs, by contrast, are peaceful in nature, being mischievous rather than malevolent, and have long been on friendly terms with the Gridanians. Until recently, at least. Alas, they have grown aloof, a change observed at roughly the time they summoned their primal Ramu. The Gridanians have no love for war, and they consider open conflict a last resort. Though they clash with the Ixal ever more regularly, you may be assured that they do so in self-defense. As for the Sylphs, they are as yet bound by a peace treaty, though one wonders how long it will be before it is broken. The Twelveswood was grievously wounded during the calamity, leaving Gridania vulnerable to attack. The people are hopeful that restoring the wood, and thereby the power of the elementals, will put an end to their woes. Yet, how long will that take? Centuries, I'd wager. Meanwhile, the Ixal will continue their incursions, spurred on by Garuda and her insatiable appetite for destruction. Whether the Gridanians like it or not, sooner or later it will come to all-out war. And when it does, the Order of the Twin Adder will need all the help it can muster. How valuable might the aid of a capable adventurer prove to them? Alright, so that's Ul'dah. Where did they say this one was going to be? Let's see.
Behold, 'tis the Sultana Nanamo herself!
And Reborn as well!
Hark you, souls of flame, drawn to the bosom of the desert, where the fire burns brightest and shall rage forevermore. Hurrah! Reborn! Where since antiquity, under the sage and judicious rule of the Ul dynasty, we have wrought sand into gold. Where by the grace and glory of Nauthdal have our brave sons and daughters flourished and prospered. I speak of Ul'dah!
There, at the Flame General's back flies the Grand Company's standard. Note the sigil. The golden scales of order balance the jewel of prosperity with the flame of might.
Great and many are the gifts our nation has given the realm. In Eorzea's darkest hour, on the killing fields of Cartano, none spent more in blood and gold than we. Thus was the 7th Imperial Legion laid low.
So that's how it happened. How soon history forgets.
Yet many left our gates, never to return. Let us pray for our absent brothers and sisters, that they might know happiness in the great beyond, as Thal's honored guests. If the fates were fair, the price we paid that day would have bought us victory. Alas, they are not. And now, but 5 years into this 7th Umbral era, the spirit of sacrifice which granted us our strength is all but dead. Look around you. What do you see? A people divided, downtrodden and enthralled. Where are the merciful alms of the rich? Where is the just steel of the righteous? I ask you, is this the great nation our brothers and sisters gave their lives to save? You who call this living, dishonor the name of the immortal flames. It is but a slow death. Our enemies surround us. The savage hordes of the Amalj'aa wait beside our roads, strangling the lifelines of trade. Meanwhile, the Garleans make mock of our borders and despoil our land of its natural wealth. We stand on a precipice, yet we do not act. Whether trader or soldier, monetarist or royalist, all must recognize that a divided Ul'dah stands to fall. Victory and fortune walk hand in hand. Ye who seek glory and wealth, look not to what little you can snatch from your neighbor. but to the boundless wealth of the world beyond. Now is the time to unite. Now is the time to ride forth. In the name of the Sultana, I beseech you. Line not your own coffers, but those of the immortal flames. Seek not to prosper from Ul'dah, but to restore her to prosperity. As the realm prospers, so shall Ul'dah. As Ul'dah prospers, so shall her people.
Ya for Ul'dah!
Together we are one.
Your grace.
Raubon? People of Ul'dah, I, Nanimo, 17th in the line of Ul, address you. Much has been made of the wealth of Ul'dah. Yet those who measure that wealth in coins and carats are gravely deceived. For the true wealth of Ul'dah lies in the health, happiness, and hopes of her people. Beloved subjects, I bid you raise aloft the torch of Ul'dah, that her flames might serve as a beacon for all Eorzea to see.
Long live Nanimo!
Glory to the Sultana!
For victory and fortune, stride fearless into the Inferno, for we are, by fire, reborn! Forsooth!
The time is now!
I fancy meeting you again.
The Uldans have a long history of conflict with the Amalj'aa, the beast tribe that worships the primal Ifrit. Judging by your look of distaste, I take it you have encountered them. The Uldans do not shy from confrontation. If aught threatens their precious prosperity, they will seek to crush it. So have they dealt with Ifrit thus far, smothering his flames each time he is stoked to life. Yet he is but one of several problems. Though they have been quiet these past 5 years, the Garleans have not gone away. Meanwhile, refugees continue to arrive in droves, and Ul'dah has no clear policy on how to deal with them. After all, not even the Sultanate's coffers are bottomless, and even assuming they had the coin, resources will ever be finite. Which brings me back to the subject of Ifrit. It has been observed that the Amalj'aa are summoning him with ever-increasing frequency. Every time they do so, the Uldans send their forces to smite the primal, and though they invariably succeed, each victory is bought with blood. It is a war of attrition, which they cannot well sustain. Small wonder, then, that the immortal flames are eager to recruit more members. At such a desperate hour, an adventurer of your experience would be a most welcome addition to their ranks. All right, now back to Limsa. Whoa. here to attend the remembrance service. Be quick, the Admiral is due to give her address at any moment.
The Garleans are another matter altogether.
So much for our alliance.
It's sunk beyond the seabed.
Brothers and sisters of the sea, hearken unto me. Look upon this, our mighty crimson standard, and tell me your hearts do not swell with pride. "700 summers have come and gone since our forefathers first ran aground in this fertile bay. In that time, guided by the Mother of Oceans, Limsa Lominsa has grown from humble fishing village to uncontested ruler of the 5 seas and beyond.
Did you look as the Admiral bid you? It is a rather stirring standard, I must say. The Crimson Field is meant to signify the blood of fallen crewmates, while the Black Longship represents a pirate vessel.
When the Garlean Empire marched upon Eorzea, we assembled beneath the Maelstrom standard, and our grand company was reborn. All answered the call, from the Knights of the Barracuda to Hilthier's bloody executioners, and together we met our would-be conquerors upon the field of Cartano. That day, the world bore witness to the united strength of Limsa Lominsa. I swear to you, no army ever fought harder or with more courage, yet many of ours did not survive. Join me now in remembering those who fought in the name of freedom and fell. May their souls be returned to the sea.
Freedom. Yes, they have always been rather fond of their freedom. Much as the beast tribes have. Small wonder. Beneath the surface, one would struggle to tell them apart.
It has been 5 long years since the calamity struck. 5 long years of tireless rebuilding. Yet still the wounds of the calamity fester and weep. But when I stand atop the mizzenmast and gaze out upon our battered and broken vessel, I see an undying spirit. Did we not build all this from the wreck of the Galadian all those centuries ago? Shall we not do so again? Yet there are those who would see this ship of ours sink beneath the waves of the restless Rotano. The Sahagin creep ashore seeking blood for their accursed god.
Those fishback
The
bastards.
Sahagin have risen?
While the mines of Ogomoro spew forth kobolds who push ever south, despoiling our lands as these savage beast tribes will be the first waves to crash against our creaking hull. And behind them swells the grim tide of the Garlean Empire. Even now, the Curs fly their flags within our borders. Doubt not, but that they will be upon us ere long. We are well nigh surrounded. Yet there are those among us who would rather turn their swords against their crewmates than our cannons against our foes. How can we hope to repel our many enemies when mutiny breeds below deck? There is but one course left to us. One bearing that will bring us victory over the beast hordes and the Empire both, and see this ship safe to port. We must mend the rift the calamity has reopened twixt pirate and Maelstrom, and stand fast with our adventurer brothers against the coming tempest. Mark ye well. A crew without unity is no crew at all. 'Tis but a mass of drowned men. To me, then, brothers and sisters of the sea, gather beneath the undying crimson standard, and pledge me your strength, your skill, your wisdom. And with the guidance of the navigator, this great vessel of ours shall ride the waves, till sea swallows all!
Long live the Admiral!
Admiral Melvin!
Gather the lads!
Oh, where's me cutlass?
I'll follow ye to the seven hells, Admiral!
Fancy meeting you again.
As the Admiral mentioned in her address, Limsa is plagued by two beast tribes. The first are the fish-like Sahagin worshippers of the primal Leviathan. The second are the kobolds, who dwell beneath the earth and take the primal Titan for their god. As if the beast tribe's presence weren't troublesome enough, the Garleans have also chosen to erect a fortress right in the Limsa's backyard. And that is to say naught of internal strife. As a nation of pirates, there is no end to the blood feuds between the various factions, and while they fight amongst themselves, the Garleans whet their blades and watch. If the Laminsans are to have any hope of withstanding the Empire, they must first resolve their own affairs. Differences must be set aside, and the primal threat dealt with once and for all. To this end, I expect that they will soon take decisive action against the beast tribes. Mark my words, the Maelstrom stand will be drenched a deeper shade of crimson ere long. That a capable adventurer like you would be a valuable addition to their crew is beyond question. But will you stand with the Admiral? Misty, this is Minfilia. You are well, I hope. Would I be correct in thinking that the final remembrance service has now concluded? A moment ago, you say. What a coincidence. Jesting aside, I trust you remember our guests from the Grand Companies. Well, delighted though we are to have them here at the Waking Sands, it would not do to keep them in suspense any longer than necessary. In short, hurry back. Cool, cool. Welcome back, Misty. Were the Grand Company leader's words as illuminating as you had hoped? Each nation is beset with problems. I trust you see now why your services are in such demand. Would that there were more of you, Misty. But you must be tired from your journey. Why don't you rest a while and take a moment to reflect on your decision? Once your mind is made up, pray give the Grand Company officers your answer.
The gods only know what grand company our adventurer friend will keep. The wheels of change are in motion regardless.
Brother, are you certain this course is best?
Whatever do you mean, dear sister?
The so-called remembrance ceremonies were little more than standard waving rallies. As though the Calamity and Seventh Umbral era warranted scarcely a mention.
Well, of course they were standard waving rallies. Since you are so observant, mayhap you noticed what mention was made of the Warriors of Light? None. I suppose they must have forgotten the heroes who spared Eorzea a fate worse than the Calamity? No, dear Alisaie, they haven't forgotten these details. They have elected to omit them. Deep are the wounds the Calamity inflicted upon Eorzea. So deep, in fact, that the realm still bleeds. Needless to say, the beast tribes and their primals do little to alleviate the pain. So, the task of salving Eorzea's wounds falls to the Scions of the Seventh Dawn, with a little help from our friends, the Grand Companies. Remembrance will yield no remedy. If our world is to heal, we must put the horrors of the Calamity behind us.
Our grandfather would never entrust the fate of the realm to despots who rewrite history to their convenience. There must be another way to cure what ails this world, and I mean to find it.
You are most welcome to try. Our paths may differ, but our destination is the same. In time, I dare say we will see eye to eye.
I should hope so.
My lady! We are to escort you!
Hope does not come into it. We share the burden of this fate, dear sister, and will prevail together or not at all. The salve will serve not only to close up our present wounds, but prevent old ones from opening anew.
Okay, we're going to select a Grand Company now. The last character I made, we played out of Ul'dah because I was a black mage at the time, and so we chose that Grand Company. We're playing out of Limsa this time, so I think I'm going to take Maelstrom for my Grand Company because that's where this character's kind of home is. So here we go. How was the Admiral's speech? Ah, but you need not explain. That you stand before me now is answer enough. You have resolved to join the Maelstrom, have you not? That's the spirit, lass. With allies like you, how much stronger is our crew? Let us brave the seas together, friend. Now the choice is made, it's time to add your name to our rolls. Make your way to Maelstrom Command back in Limsa. "'Tis on the upper decks, in case you have forgotten. I will send word to our personnel officer to expect you." The duties of a Maelstrom officer can be both arduous and challenging, but I promise you, you will not regret this choice. May your passage be swift and your bearings sure. All right, let's go to Limsa. Hail, adventurer. What business have you at Maelstrom Command? My name is Misty Shores. I believe you are expecting me. Yes. Misty Shores? I, our recruitment officer, sent word of your coming. It shall be my honor to induct you into the ranks of the Maelstrom. Now, before I can accept your oath, you must be made aware of several... Sir! What is it, Private? And this had better be important. Sir, we've received a report from a lookout in Lower Lanasay. Sir, Imperial forces have hired upon a high-wind skyways airship. The vessel is in a bad way, sir, and appears to be banking for an emergency landing in Cedarwood. Cedarwood? Damn it, we have no troops available in that area. The bulk of our infantry is bogged down on the coast, skirmishing with the fishbacks. Shores, this is highly irregular, but I fear your first duty in service to the Maelstrom must needs be unofficial. If our man in Lower Lanasay is correct, the airship will come down in territory crawling with Imperial scouts. If there are any survivors, we must reach them before the Garleans do. Make haste to Cedarwood, locate the airship, and if any of its occupants are alive, make sure they come to no further harm. We'll see about swearing you in upon your return. Okay, let's see if we can figure out where Cedarwood is then. Alright. Looks like there's a gate, so let's go find the crystal. Okay, let's see then. An adventurer? What are you doing out here? No, wait. Let's find some cover first. Maelstrom Command sent you? How do I know you're not an Imperial spy? You don't even have a uniform. Be at ease, sir. We are of the Maelstrom. You're a Garland Ironworks engineer, yes? One of our lookouts reported the attack on your craft. We're here to rescue you. You must be Shores. Good work on reaching our friend here before the Imperials. I've never seen a craft of this design. It must be Garland's work. There is no end to the man's treachery. Is there no end to the man's treachery? The secrets of Magitech belong in Imperial hands. They are not to be squandered on Eorzean savages. We are taking this craft back to the fortress. Dismantle it if you must, and bring the engineer. Someone must pay for Garland's crimes. Scouting party from Castrum Occidens, I'd say. Seems they want your ship engineer. Wedge, you have to help him. That fool of a Lalafell was hiding inside the tiny Bronco. The tiny Bronco? Isn't that the new design people have been whispering about? It's the first airship we've built since the Calamity. The first since Master Garland, well, since he went missing. After years of work, she was finally ready for her first test flight, and she was soaring. She really was, till those bastards blasted her out of the sky. All right, pay attention. We're going to hit these Imperials hard and fast. If they want a souvenir from Eorzea, they can have a knife in the gut, but they're not getting that airship. Oh, and don't forget to save the Lalafell. What say you, Shores? Ready to give those curs a hiding? Like a tidal wave, lads. Charge. An ambush! To arms! Biggs! Wedge, you shouldn't have stayed with the ship. That was a close one. Too damn close. So how's she look, anyway? The auxiliary propeller is a dead loss, but I think we can wring enough thrust from the main propeller to get us airborne. A few minor modifications and we should be able to fly the tiny Bronco home. We'll stand watch until the ship is ready to take off. The Imperials will come looking for their scouts eventually, but I doubt they'll get here for a good while yet. Shores, you're free to return to Maelstrom Command and complete your induction. Ordinarily, I'd ask you to stay, but I think we'd all feel better knowing an adventurer of your ability was safely sworn in and ready for the next mission. Rest assured, I'll inform Command of the part you played today. I just wanted to say sorry, for calling you an Imperial spy and all that. Got that one wrong, didn't I? Seriously, though, if it hadn't been for you and the Maelstrom lads there, we'd be chained up in a dungeon by now. I'm in your debt, friend. We both are. Wedge? Thank you. We're very grateful. Cool, cool. Go to the aft castle. Welcome back, Shores. I just heard the report. You needn't be concerned about the engineers. They completed their return trip without further Imperial interference. I must admit, I had my doubts at first, but it seems the stories about you are true. I look forward to seeing what else you're capable of, after you're properly inducted into the Maelstrom, of course. Now, speaking of your induction, okay, this should be till sea swallows all. Let us start afresh, shall we? You are welcome here, Misty Shores. That such a well-respected adventurer would choose to join our ranks is most heartening. Before you swear your allegiance to us, however, it is only right that I tell you exactly what it is that you will be joining. A grand company is more than simply a collection of soldiers. It is an all-encompassing organization which draws upon the resources of an entire city-state to form a united military force capable of standing against a nation's deadliest enemies. We of the Maelstrom are charged with meeting the threats posed by the Primals and the Garlean Empire, and solving the many problems caused by the calamity. Every man and woman who serves under our colors has a role to play in keeping the great warship that is Limsa Lominsa afloat, and on whatever heading Chief Admiral Merlweb Blofinswin sees fit to set. As part of this grand vessel's crew, you will be expected to take your turn at the oars, for the winds do not look favorable, lass, and strength of arm may be all that sees us safe to port. If I've lost you with talk of ship and oar, let me put it another way. A Maelstrom soldier labors till her last breath, fights till her last drop of blood. We give our all in service to this nation, and no less is expected of you. Shores. It is customary for new recruits to swear an oath of their own, choosing upon entering the Maelstrom's ranks. Is there aught you'd like to say? Ah, yes, the many and varied skills of the adventurer. I've no doubt that your travels have furnished you with such knowledge as will prove invaluable to our cause. Misty Shores, I hereby assign you the rank of Storm Private 3rd Class. You are now officially a soldier of the Maelstrom. Welcome aboard, Private. May you serve Limsa well till sea swallows all. Can you hear me, Misty? This is Minfilia. An officer of the Maelstrom contacted me with news of your enlistment. My congratulations, Private Shores. I have no doubt that you are eager to make the acquaintance of your new comrades, but I would ask that you pay a visit to your old ones first. Remember, though you are now a woman of the storm, you are no less a scion. Pray return to the Waking Sands at your earliest convenience. There are some friends here whom I would very much like you to meet. We shall be waiting. No rest for the wicked, eh? Before you make yourself scarce, I recommend having a word with Commander Riki. Might be worth your while. You may now accept the quest My Little Chocobo, Maelstrom, by speaking with Rashat Riki. This quest must be completed in order to proceed to the end of the main scenario for our realm Reborn. Cool. Alright, I do need to go back to the Waking Sands to finish this quest, but I'm tempted to pick this one up for the Chocobo while I'm here. You know what? Follow the quest you're on. We can come back here later. Welcome back, Misty. Lady Minfilia awaits you within. Welcome back. It seems you wasted no time putting your skills to work. How do I know? Why, the recruitment officer called to regale me with the tale of your heroics. The pride in his voice was palpable. We Scions are truly fortunate to have you with us, Misty. Now, when last we spoke, I said that I wanted you to meet some friends. Did I not? Well, I neglected to mention that you have already met. Tataru, please show them in. This way, sirs. Thanks again for getting us out of that mess. We owe you our lives. But I don't think we've properly introduced ourselves. I'm Biggs. And I'm... Godsman, spit it out, will you? Wedge, at your service. I am pleased to say that Biggs and Wedge will be staying with us for a while. Magitech-driven contraptions, such as airships, grow ever more vital to the city-states of Eorzea. As a neutral party, it was judged that we Scions should serve as the keepers of this technology. Of course, for this we needed the knowledge of experts, and so we requested the assistance of Garland Ironworks, who very kindly sent us 2 of their finest engineers. Our happy family continues to grow. On behalf of the Scions, I bid you welcome to the Waking Sands. Like every soul here, I love Eorzea, and I count myself blessed to have been given this chance to stand with you all and fight for the future of the realm. Never have I known such fulfillment, such happiness. Alright, let's see. Looks like this should be Sylph-management. Minfilia needs you to investigate the Sylphs.
Now, having set aside the formalities, we have a favor to ask of you. Urianger, have the documents arrived from the students of Baldesion?
Aye, my lady. They arrived but recently.
We have conducted a study at the behest of the Order of the Twin Adder. Papalimo, Ida, a synopsis if you would.
Our task was to survey the behavior of the Sylphs, a beast tribe indigenous to the Twelveswood.
Oh, how to describe them. They look like gisselcreens, floating ones, that worship the primal Ramu.
Ahem. Though technically a beast tribe, Sylphs are blessed with a comparatively personable demeanor, conducive to peaceful communication.
Offering us an invaluable opportunity to learn what the beast tribes know of the primals.
While Ramuh's existence is well documented, the Sylphs do not, or perhaps cannot, summon the primal any longer, insofar as can be ascertained. Until such time as we know, it would be unwise to assume that the threat posed by the primal has passed.
Which leaves Gridania with the added worry of not knowing what they should be worrying about.
In that regard, they are hardly alone. What we can say with absolute certainty is that Gridania has its hands full fending off Garuda, who, I need hardly remind you, is among the most savage and terrible of all known primals.
In short, it is essential that we approach the Sylphs in as diplomatic a manner as possible. Words and actions can be misconstrued. The only sure way to communicate our intentions is the echo. Winning the Sylphs' favor may well bring us a step closer to mitigating the threat of the primals. Will you help us? I am grateful.
Lovely. Well, as much as I'd like to help, I'm afraid I would be of little use to anyone in Gridania. A veritable babe in the woods. Ida and Papalimo, however, should be able to see the forest for the trees. Is that not so, Minfilia?
Indeed. You are willing?
Leave it to me.
Us, Ida, us!
Alright, looks like we are off to Gridania for now. We know far too little of the Sylphs to lay any worthwhile plans. We must call upon the Scions once more if we are to... beg pardons. 'Tis a terrible habit of mine to think aloud, but tell me, what brings you to the Adder's Nest? Hail, adventurer. I bid you welcome to the Adder's Nest. Do you seek to entwine your destiny with the Twin Adder? Good day, Commander. Sorry to disappoint you, but other business brings us here today. Ida and Papalimo. Always a pleasure to see the two of you. My men tell me you quest in the name of the Scions of late. Quite so, Commander. A little bird told us that the Twin Adder was in need of our adventuring prowess. Aye, your little bird sings true. No doubt you've heard that we're investigating the Sylphs, that curious beast tribe that calls the depths of the 12 Woods home. The Sylphs are, for the most part, a peaceable bunch, much to the delight of the elder Seeds here, who has no desire to see her people embroiled in yet another fruitless war. The twin adder is of the same mind, and 'tis precisely for this reason that the Sylph's relation to the primal Ramu has raised a flag of warning amongst our ranks. Friendly as they may appear, beastmen will be beastmen. Should there be even a sliver of a chance that the summoning of the primal might disturb the balance between Gridania and the Sylphic tribes, it is a possibility we cannot ignore. Better to be safe than sorry, indeed. Do we strike at Ramu or leave the Sylphs to their own ways? That is the question, and I find myself lacking ample knowledge to arrive at an answer. Opinions abound within Gridania, but to listen only to one's own is among the greatest mistakes a commander can make. I would hear from the other side, the Sylphs themselves, and seek an impartial party to serve as my liaison. That is where you Scions come in. The Sylphs of Little Solace remain untempered and have held many a productive dialogue with our people. I would hear their candid thoughts on their tempered brethren. That said, I urge you to exercise due caution. Sylphic tradition and etiquette bear little resemblance to our own. It would not do to have any cross-cultural faux pas get in the way of a productive parley. En route to Little Solace, you will come upon the Hawthorn Hut. Our officer stationed there can enlighten you as to how to win the Sylph's favor. May your expedition be a worthwhile one. A friendly palaver with the Sylphs. This should be a pleasant enough diversion. The Hawthorn Hut, was it? Why, I believe the ferry departing from West Shore Pier should take us straight there. A friendly palaver indeed. I hope this will be as straightforward as you say, Papalymo. I, the ferry docked at the base of this hill, will carry you across the lake to the East Shroud. Once you're ashore, head due east and you should find the Hawthorn Hut without much trouble. Gridania sure is pretty, isn't it? Indeed, I'm Amalj'aa of the Twin Adder. I understand you're here to learn of the Sylphs, yes? For all their whimsy, they are a wary lot, particularly since the Empire has come to the Shroud. Earn their trust, however, and they're as friendly as any folk. They have their quirks, but so do we all, no? Would you know more? You'd do well to speak with the master of this hut. Rolf? He's forgotten more about the Sylphs than I'll ever know. Sylphic Studies. Come to learn a thing or two about the Sylphs, have you? I'll tell you one thing. They're a peculiar folk. How peculiar, you ask? Well, just let me tell you. They're... beg pardon, friend. My memory's just not what it used to be. I've seen much and more in my adventuring days, and it's all a clutter in my noggin now. Though I've shared my stories with those around the hut before. You might have more luck with them. The Sylphs? Yes, Father's told me his stories plenty of times. What I've always found most captivating is how their concept of etiquette is almost completely alien to our own. You'd do best not to underestimate them on account of their childlike looks, lest your face end up a mess of glyphs, squiggles, and chocobo scratches. Tee-hee. The Sylphs? Inveterate tricksters and troublemakers, that's what they are. One day they're drawing morbid faces on your masks, the next day they're sending our young sentries falling to the bottom of a ravine. Tell them to stop and they just laugh at you. Rolf claims they harbor no ill will, but I dare say such pranks are no laughing matter. The quickest way to a quiver woman's heart may be through her stomach, but don't even think of trying to foist your foodstuffs on a sylph. They sustain themselves simply by bathing in the sun, or so Rolf once told me. Oh, of course, of course. Hearing your stories, well, my stories, has brought the memories flooding back to me. I feel like dancing. Yes, nothing brings people together quite like a little toe tapping. A sylph told me long ago that dancing is a time-honored greeting among their kind. You'd do well to remember this. It just may well help you win the favor of our forest friends. Cool, cool. I think this is first impressions. Oh, still here, eh? Great. There's one more thing you should know about the sylphs. They don't take kindly to guests who show up empty-handed. To earn their trust, you'd do well to bring along Drat. What was it again? And my wife, Rosa, and I were just speaking of the matter not days ago. Forgive me, friend. Speak to Rosa at the calm. Her memory should prove more reliable than mine own. Okay. A peace offering for the sylphs. Were it anyone else, I'd recommend a jar of honey, but I fear that wouldn't get you past their front doorstep, dear. No, their tastes run more to the unusual. Are you perchance familiar with milkroot? any road, a gift of milkroot will have the sylphs calling you friend and sister the moment they lay eyes on it. Now let me wrap that up for you. I'm starting to feel a bit woozy. Alright, we've been at it nearly 4 hours now. So I think that's where we're going to call it a day. I will be seeing you all next time. Thanks for watching.